We squabbled over it. What was found inside that island is a discovery of the millennium. I present to you adamantium.
Clocking in overtime, get to running.
The world is on the brink of war. It's my job to fix that. The world needs a reset.
They can't hold me, I fall from my
I'll show the world I've changed.
fall on the feet.
Really changed.
Off of my leash.
The legacy of this shield, it is not only important in moments like this.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers. Right. None. Captain, you won't walk away alive.
You want me? Come and get me! Let's go.
Let's go right there, people. Welcome back to Unpopular Review. We are here to talk this spoiler review. Again, spoiler review for Captain America of the Brave New World. I am one of your illustrious hosts this evening. I'm Mike Papa Knox. I will be joined by the great Grand Slam Captain American Pooba and Freckle Sensei. What's going on, gentlemen? How you doing this afternoon?
Pretty well.
Good. Excited. I got to watch it. I got to watch it on Thursday. Had a whole entire went to a whole entire event. It was amazing. Did not win the Shield contest, yes, but overall, I had a blast.
Well, just buy your own shield. That'll help you. But first of all, we're going to talk about how Sam finds himself in the middle of an international incident after missing or a meeting, rather, with President Thaddeus Ross. He must soon discover the reason behind this nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has entered the world, making everybody see red. This is a movie that is now the first movie since the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I believe, to since Endgame, to take us into this direction and get us back into the Marvel fold. It's looked at as being, you can see, because it's another Captain America movie, as a Captain America spinoff. But for at least myself, when I watch it, I feel like it was more of a part two to the Incredible Hulk kind of movie that they came out with. And actually not one Incredible Hulk, but both movies from the Incredible Hulk, because a lot of things that happened in both those movies were involved in this movie, including, to me, which was never advertised, and I don't know why they never called him this, the true villain in this movie, the leader.
The leader.
So I'm going to start off with the great Grand Slam Captain America Pooba first. Just your thoughts on this movie before we dive into the ins and outs of this movie.
It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I was looking forward to this. I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I was like, oh, this got a lot of momentum going into this movie, so I couldn't wait to check it out. And there was a lot of spots. I know we're going to talk about little things that was going on. I thought it was cool, and it's cool that you mentioned the Incredible Hulk. Now, I didn't see the first Hulk, the one you talking about, the one in 2003, correct?
Yes, sir.
I didn't watch that one, but the Incredible Hulk, I do remember that. I think just recently I was just watching the scene with him and Abomination, and I was like, it's cool that they touched back to that, because they've kind of talked about it, but they kind of didn't. So it's nice that they can touch back on those things and bring back characters from there, like how you said, the leader, and also to Betty Ross. I know we'll get to her in a bit, but I thought stuff like that was actually pretty cool. It made me go, I need to watch back Incredible Hulk, because it's been years. It has been years.
You know, to me, it's one of them underutilized gems that just didn't hit the way that people thought it would hit, but it had some really good things you could have pulled from it, from that Incredible Hulk. Like me personally, I love the comic book aspect of how the scenes would move left and right, things of that nature. But that did give us the leader in that film as well, that we see here in Captain America, The Brave New World. I'm gonna ask you, Freckle Sensei, just your takes on the movie and what you saw after not winning your shield, of course, on Thursday at the event here in Atlanta.
So it was the movie was amazing. I don't care about what blog site, what critic, what person that thinks they are Ebert and Roper. Y'all can all just, go in the island of Messer for all I care. But overall, this movie was great. It was genius. I did kind of see how it was like a Hulk 3. In my opinion, I always said that, that Incredible Hulk 2 was the worst MCU movie besides Thor: The Dark World 2. But outside of those two,
with Abomination and oh God, what's his name? The actor, I forget. Right, oh God, my mind is
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton. Yeah, you thought that was trash? You didn't like that?
I didn't. And I tried to watch it again, even when I got old, and I'm just like, dang, maybe it's not the worst because still Thor 2, but. But I was like, oh, it's really close to being one of the bad.
Well, it wasn't an MCU movie first and foremost, so you can't compare to those. But to each their own. To each their own. That's widely opinion of a very good Hulk movie. I'm with you. I won't say I'm with you. I actually like that Incredible Hulk movie, but I don't think it was as great as everybody thought it was. But I will reserve that opinion to go back and rewatching it, as I was one of the few idiots, and I'm saying that about myself. I think it's when you're doing these things, you got to know when you're wrong. I did not like when I first saw Logan. I just couldn't stand the movie. I didn't want the cursing and all those things involved. It was just too much of me. But I'll go back and I watch. I'm like, it is literally one of the greatest Marvel movies ever made. Is Logan. From my perspective,
that one was one completely.
Sure.
But as we talk about this movie here, and we're diving in here deep, guys. Remember, spoiler review here of this movie. A couple of things that I want to point out, if I can, to this beautiful crew I have right here, is the critics first and foremost, right? And I look at this as we are Unpop Review Entertainment. We are also part of Unpop Review, the wrestling channel, where all we do is review things. So technically, we are critics as well. Right. The difference between
it stinks.
Yeah. And you know what the difference is? I like to say, and let me just back this background off here. Is as a broadcast journalism major, right? I know people have their misconceptions or preconceptions they will about the news and things like that. I was taught from a very lovely lady who worked in the White House who said to me, it is your job to bring forth the truth. Right. So even when it comes to my wrestling takes, when it comes to I try my best. And I believe that every fan should do the same thing. Take your fandom, which is hard, it's short for fanatic, right, out of watching something and give it your honest opinion and review. You go back, we just did this past week Superman 1, which Freckle Sensei helped me review, and had never seen it, and he said twice during that review I had to take my fan out of it because how old the movie was for him. He 1978, he was born in the 90s, you know what I mean? So for him it was a difficult watch, and so I just think when you're watching something like that, take out your fandom. And I think a lot of these critics don't do that. A lot of fans don't do that, and it's automatic. If it's not what they want, if it's not instant gratification, they don't fall in line with it. One of the biggest things about this review that I saw everywhere, and I'm talking about from people that I typically go to watch, right? And I would say 80% of the time I would agree with their assessment of movies. When it came to this one, I watched it without even seeing the movie first and just knew they were wrong. Right? I just did, because to me, Marvel has never done and still has never done an espionage movie that's bad. But I mean war. You go to people didn't like Black Widow. I thought Black Widow was okay. Well, I'm not gonna say it was one of the greatest, but it wasn't terrible. Right? Winter Soldier. Great. Civil War, great. The first, I would probably say, watching this film, I like this better than the very first Captain America, the first Avenger, and I love that film.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Poobah.
I was gonna say, because I did love that ranking of it, because I was sitting there saying I can't pick it over Civil War and Winter Soldier, but it was definitely better than the first. And when I was hearing all these critics and they were talking like, "Oh, this is terrible, this is bad," and I think a lot of that came from. I mean, I don't have to say it because we all know in the room why they were
I'm definitely gonna say it. So if you don't say it,
I'm definitely
someone gonna say it. Someone definitely gonna say it. But there's that, and I also think that they were trying to get at him for something that was said. And I don't even remember. I don't even know what the quote was. But I had people who were like, "Well, Chris Evans said the same thing," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh yeah,
I think for me it was so clear to me, and that's why I said I look forward to seeing this, because you know what, Steve Rogers, he's a great Captain America. I mean, I'm never going to take anything away, but my Captain America is Sam Wilson, and I was going to be there to support Sam Wilson. That's why I'm wearing these colors, and I'll let you guys know this is a very uncomfortable costume, so I'll be retiring this costume 100%. It's a little tight around the waist, not comfy, but I when I heard these critics
inside too.
Oh yeah, and that's why I'm gonna have to take another shower after this. But yeah, these critics, I immediately was like, oh, these critics could go to hell. And and one of the things too, what really, and I saw this today, listening to Anthony Mackie, And he was like, I was always a part of the movie, but this is my movie. And I
Yeah,
said,
right.
go ahead, brother. Go ahead. This is your moment. Go ahead. And I was happy for him. Is my point.
It was definitely his moment. But yeah, like we all know, people couldn't even stand when in Star Wars, when my boy, I can't forget John Boyega, when it was almost hinted that he was going to be a Jedi. So they couldn't stand a black Jedi, even though one of the most powerful freaking beings in all of Star Wars is voiced by a black man.
Yeah.
But they definitely could not handle a black Captain America. That was one thing, you know, the people that say America with America, the people that wants to make America great again and all that type of stuff, they was not going to, they didn't care. It didn't even care if Sam Wilson even took the doggone serum, which we're going to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he took the serum, cosplay and changed into Chris Evans incarnate and beat the crap out of Red Hulk, they would not have cared. They would have still review bombed it, and that's why I couldn't stand.
Well, the thing is, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just real quick, because when you was mentioning that, I just wanted to say I actually went to a con dressed like this, and I had someone come up to me and said, "Well, why is he Captain America? He can't even pick up the Thor's hammer." Yeah, and I was just like,
sure he can.
And I'm like, and he said it should have went to Bucky. Meanwhile, Bucky can't do the same thing. But it was clear to me how some people feel when you see, and it reminds me of, I mean, I don't want to make this a racial thing here, but when Obama ran for president, a lot of people were not ready for a black president. So I'm just throwing that out.
You had Anthony Mackie a week before the film came out,
Sure.
Who said, well, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be the one thing that he represents.
Exactly.
And that was the big thing that came out. And then, of course, he had to come out after that because he definitely got a lot of backlash for saying that. I think in that moment, that's when, well, first of all, as soon as he was casted as Captain America to be termed Captain America, he was bombed from the beginning in this movie. But he made that comment and got more backlash from that. And he says, I'm proud of who Sam Wilson has become in this universe, and watching him grow from a guy who just went to take a jog to Captain America to honestly the American dream. Everyone inspires to do what Sam Wilson has become, and that is becoming Captain America. And with that being said, again, we don't want to make this completely about his race, but when you look at the critic, when you look at the low critic scores, I remember years ago I despised Rotten Tomatoes. I thought, well, why do I have to pitch it? Why do people go off of what they say? I remember being a child. I'm from, born in Chicago, born to be like Mike. I didn't want Jordans because everybody else had, or because he said have them. I wanted because I thought they were cool. Right. I've always made to separate myself from that kind of thing. I wear expensive lacrosse shirts because I like to wear expensive lacrosse, shirts. I don't wear US Polo because I was always told that was not the real Ralph Lauren polo. You know what I mean? To this day, despite him telling us his clothes aren't for us, I still love Tommy Hilfiger clothing. You know what I mean? But so I think at some point, I just think when it comes to certain things in our country, we have to rise above certain things, and anybody can play Captain America. But what made this movie great to me, what made this whole Sam Wilson being Captain America, all lies with Isaiah.
Yes.
We go back to Falcon and Winter Soldier, the TV show, the series, which a lot, again, critics did not like. And I never understood why they didn't like it. You don't want like Secret Invasion, that's fine. I don't think nobody likes Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I wasn't one of
you know what I mean? But Falcon and Winter
Yeah.
Soldier, to me, were a great series. But he said no respectable black man would want to be Captain America because of what they had done to him in this country. Now let's get into this movie here. Starts off very, very clean. They're on a mission. Well, what else can you start off with, right? But on a mission. Automatically show how good he can become, how good he is. Then automatically you introduce to the new Falcon, if you will, at this time. Let's talk about this cast first. You got Thaddeus Ross being played by Harrison Ford, a.k.a. Han Solo. God damn it. Okay, when he hits that line, he did a great role, okay? You got Anthony Mackie, playing Sam Wilson. Sabrina Haas playing Sabrina, which quietly, it was a little weird for me watching that tall lady. You have Danny Rodriguez, playing the new Falcon. Of course, Juan Carlos Esposito playing Sidewinder. They don't say his name in this. I wish they did.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah,
I let that be. And then we had the returning of Liv Taylor playing Betty Ross, and the returning Tim Blake Nelson playing Dr. Samuel Stern, aka the leader. And again, just things in this film, and of course, Carl Lumbsley, who plays Isaiah Bradley, to me, one of the true standouts in this film was him. And of course, it starts off, they go to this party at the White House, and they're hypnotized, they're brainwashed by the leader to set out and to kill the president. But did he? Because even then, you look, if you watch that scene, guys, he could have shot him, and he did. Right? It was all a ploy by the leader to make people hate Thaddeus Ross, to get at him. And that's where the movie leads us. Of course, Isaiah's running for his life. He tells him, if you go back to Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm not going back behind the wall. And he's in jail. And Sam just hell-bent on trying to prove his friend innocent in all these charges. And that's where this movie takes us and leads us at right there. I'm going to start with you, Grand Poobah. When you look at this film, you look at Isaiah Bradley, you look at Sidewinder, played by Juan Carlos Esposito, and including, God damn it, Thaddeus Ross himself, Harrison Ford. Your takes on those three particular?
So Harrison Ford, he was taking over because the original actor, he passed. So I thought he had some big shoes to fill out there. But I thought Harrison Ford was pretty good in the role that he did. I laughed at everyone when I was telling them like Harrison Ford is in the MCU, and everyone just said he's 80 years old. What's he doing here? And I just thought that was great. What's the guy's name? Juan. His name is Juan. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with actor's name.
Juan Carlos. Listen, it's okay because for years, because of my affiliation with or loving Spike Lee movies, I never knew he was even Spanish, even though his name is Juan Carlos Esposito. Because when you look at him and Do the Right Thing, and this is who told you to come on my side of the block? Right. Bob Brown's. But again, it's New York. Everything in New York is brown people, mostly in that era when it comes to movies. So go ahead.
I loved him. He was great. Matter of fact, some of the things that he was doing when he was just shooting people and stuff like that. There was a spot where he's talking to Sam, and I think he's trying to act for like immunity and all that stuff.
And I didn't know William Hunt even died. I'm sorry, cut you off. I had no clue William Hunt died.
Oh, that was the
original Thaddeus Ross. Yeah, I had no clue. That's
passed, I want to say, like 2 years ago.
2003. Yeah, I had to Google it. I'm like, he died.
Yeah. Because you remember he was playing that role for a while, and he was a fantastic.
Even through the after credit scenes, and we'll talk about the after credits in this movie as well. Mm-hmm.
But they were good. There was one more actor. Oh, you're talking about Isaiah, right? Yeah, I love Isaiah. I love that character so much, and I love the character because in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I love that they touched back on a character that I don't think get a lot of acknowledgement in the Marvel comics. Mm-hmm. I got a little bit familiar with him, so I love that they have this guy, and I mean, he plays a fantastic Isaiah because. I mean, I think he punched Sam. It looked like he crushed like 3 of his ribs. But I thought the actor was just fantastic. Matter of fact, when he was running, I said, this old man can run. So he was great. I thought he was like my favorite of all three. He was like my second favorite because Juan was just fantastic. I mean, he was killing people. I kind of caught my attention. I was like, he has a point here, guys. I was in the audience saying like he has a point, and he was just shooting somebody. So that's my takes.
When Sidewinder. They get to this fight scene that to me was reminiscent of Winter Soldier, when Winter Soldier had the mask on, that daylight scene. And he's fighting Bucky, and to me, it's one of my favorite scenes in all of Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's that little knife fight. I always do that. It was so great to me. Sweet, and he's Sidewinder trying to shoot him, and he's walking around the car, and he poof. But then he gets to the fight, and he takes he gets him in the gut with it. I'm like, yo, this fight scene is just. I just loved it. I just absolutely loved it.
The fight scene was brutal. It was very detailed, very good, and it showed that it showed the physical combat that Sam can also do right and show. Because I mean, to get stabbed twice and he's still, it's like it was one of those like super soldier serum be damned, because this man is literally getting stabbed and he's still going.
That's my favorite. You bring up that serum part. Again, spoiler alert, guys, for our watching. Please, thank you for watching us on Unpop Review. If you're watching us on Twitter, please hit the link in the bio. Come on over to the YouTube page, like, follow, subscribe to us right there as well. But if you are watching us on YouTube, we cannot see your comments, but comment below. We'll still read it over here on air. Let us know your thoughts of this film. One of my favorite scenes is when you do have Bucky show up to speak to him, and he's just there to, give him a talking. But you get to the fight scene towards the end, we're at the end, and he goes, Bucky's bullshit. I should have took this damn serum. You know what I mean? Because you can see where he does not have it all physically. Yeah. Well,
he's still human. So when it comes down to, he's going to get hurt. So I mean, even at that end, if we're talking about that part, he even tells when it looked like he took down the Hulk, which I was like, oh, dope, he took him down. But when he gets back up, and I had to be like, all right, it's a Hulk.
Yeah.
And he says, he has to go like, yo, you can literally punch me to Jupiter. I know you're in, and that's usually, I know, like, if I ever got into a real fist fight with somebody and I knew I wasn't going to win, look, you could beat me, but why would we even do that? What do you accomplish out of that? So I love that he spoke him down. I mean, that's the smartest move. I mean, go ahead.
He took lessons. He literally took lessons from Natasha on that one.
Yeah, he didn't grab him by the hand though. He didn't.
That was my only thing of why. Like, so in my review, from watching it the first time, and here's the thing that made me mad about this whole movie.
Oh,
let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever seen a Marvel movie leak weekend, opening weekend?
I'm sorry, say that again.
A Marvel movie that leaked opening weekend. When I say leaked, it's already available for you to watch illegally.
I want to say Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man, Guardians.
Not an opening weekend, neither one of them. You're talking to someone who used to do all kind of things that I shouldn't be doing as far as even selling movies. None of them ever, including No Way Home. No Way Home leaked in the second weekend that it came out.
And when you're saying this, you're talking about
I mean,
like the entire movie?
Right now, it leaked crystal clear.
But
and
actually,
people I know have watched it already at home.
Now MCU wise, MCU, I got separated because just overall.
Spider-Man, I still give you that, but even though we know it's Sony, I still give it you were coming from.
Because the Across the Spider-Verse was on TikTok like the next day.
Well, that's TikTok, and that's why TikTok should be banned. But I'll shut up for that before somebody cut us off right now.
I mean, if I can be quite frank, I mean, I don't know I should be admitting this, but I remember seeing Avengers Endgame on Pornhub.
Was he sure was watching Avengers Endgame?
Oh yeah, no. Everyone had clothes on in that
What
video.
kind of Endgame was it?
Oh no, it was at the end. I mean, I promise Thanos had his pants on.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. I didn't want to see him swinging his.
He had that Infinity Stone down there somewhere.
I would have been very upset.
My reason I brought that up is that because so many people got a chance to see it, right? And so me watching it multiple times already. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, but I gave it its money. I believe you give a money, I believe you support. And so I went support it, and they got their money from me. But my only take on this movie that I did not like, and I know I'm jumping a gun here, I did not like the part you guys talked about, the ending. At that moment, I'm like, first of all, I kept calling them Clarence to the whole of my entire movie. You 313, y'all know what y'all are. The entire movie, I kept calling them Clarence. It's a long way. We've watched this man go from Clarence with the real good now Captain America. Okay. And I'm talking about literally the whole movie. I'm like, Clarence. Oh, Clarence. The whole movie. But I said, oh, they need Natasha to come out. So I'm thinking at this moment is when you bring out Betty. The fact that the cherry blossom just fell and here's everything talked him down. I didn't like that part. And I remember watching my son before I left the house. My son said, Dad, you know he can't beat the Red Hulk. So tell me what happens. Right? I'm like, we know he can't beat him. And everyone who watches anything know about, he couldn't beat Hulk, especially without serum. He definitely had no chance in hell to do that. And so we had to get a lullaby, right? Same thing Natasha did to Banner, gave him a lullaby. But I thought in this one, that's when they should have brought out Betty to do that. Agree. Him just saying Betty's name and the flower falling in his hand. That's my only negative in this. My only negative in this movie.
I agree.
Go ahead, sir.
I would say I agree. But it's so funny because like it just dawned on me that I almost forgot this was also Sam's second job, was talking to people, calming them down because of what he was doing.
Good point.
Especially for war veterans.
Yeah,
he was doing that. He was doing the therapy sessions and everything. So it's like, dang, if it wasn't Betty, Sam would have been the best. The best one, but I still wish it was Betty.
But I think, and I don't have the same like not Harping feelings, but I don't feel the same way like how you do, Mike. But I think that's a really good point. Where if anyone was to calm him down, it should be his daughter, especially when they're talking about this relationship that has been fragile for years, and she's someone. And just before this whole thing happened, they spoke. But I want to say just a little bit before the scene before he turned to the Red Hulk, which by the way I thought was dope. It could have made me go like, see, I miss when the Hulk was just damaging stuff,
Yeah.
But I do hope though with the Red Hulk, because I'm kind of a purist when it comes to certain things. So Red Hulk is usually aware of what he's doing. So
Right.
I hope that they do that. And also too, I did love so when he gets very angry, he gets like very hot. Yeah. And they're showing that a little
I
bit.
know that steam and
Yeah. I mean, I sat there and you know how you kept calling him Clarence. I said, N-word, you don't have a chance. So
So you as you watch this though, like I thought the dynamic between the characters was good. I thought the chemistry between the new Falcon and Sam.
How do we feel about this? I mean, interrupt you. I know you're doing a fantastic job leading, but how do we? Just for everyone to know, how do y'all feel about the new Falcon?
For me, he was a breath of fresh air. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the Gen Z vibe.
I like
he gives Gen Z vibes.
Yeah,
I when he got shot out there, that was kind of my favorite part.
Oh, I laughed. It 100%
too.
reminded me of when War Machine got out there in
Yeah.
Civil War.
Oh, that
100%. And it was his
Like, you
fault.
always need one.
It was his fault. It was his fault.
He said,
It was.
"Do not," he said, "Don't engage. Don't
He
engage."
said, "Fuck it, it's my moment."
Because the entire movie, he wanted his moment, right?
And he got it.
He got
He
his
did.
moment, and he
did.
also got, to me, the speaking to at the end that was needed for that moment, right?
Yeah.
Him telling Cap, him telling Sam, "I know what Steve did for you, but what you did for me." Right.
Right.
To me, and that's why I cannot get the certain critics out of my mind who kept talking about dialogue. And I'm sitting here
I don't know
thinking,
what they mean by that.
they mean the conversation, the words, the how they speak with each other in the movie, the dialogue, how it's written.
Which
And
is
I
weird
thought-
because it was the same dialogue in Winter. It gave Winter Soldier vibes. The dialogue itself.
Just the
gave
movie did. Yes. I agree.
Winter Soldier vibes was like, "Can you trust me? I can trust you. I trust you. You might like."
Yeah.
It was the same. It was like the same kind of concept in the sense of once again, who do you trust? Government versus the real people that's trying to get stuff done. Like all of that plays a part. But I am curious with now that we have Falcon, which means that because I did know that they was trying to do Young Avengers, but I feel like they're gonna keep that idea, but change it into champions because you have actually more champions now in the MCU than you actually have Young Avengers.
They already know that they're already gonna. It's already been greenlit for Young Avengers, whether they change the name or not. That they did that.
Yeah, it's still gonna get that vibe, but I feel like they're gonna just call it champions and then make it.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna tell you why I would disagree with that statement. In the sense of that confused the audience. You know what I mean? Like you get it. You're
into it, so I get it. But you want to do I hear what Mike's saying for the casuals who might not understand that. When you see Avengers, they understand that brand, champions.
Right. That's it.
But I understand what you mean though. Like it's almost like with wrestling, like how we understand certain terms, but when you try to explain it to the casuals, you have to almost like reword everything just for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So like I said, so Young Avengers. Especially they spoke about that several times. Thaddeus Ross said to them, I want you to bring back the Avengers. We know the Avengers are coming back anyway. Which in what way we don't know. This sets up to me, this begins to set up a lot of those things. Red Hawk's not dead again. Spoiler alert, he's in the Raft prison in the middle of the woods some damn where. Okay. Talk about some scenes that you love the most. Okay.
But can I add this part here? Because what did you guys think of them introducing not Vibranium? Was it Andy-Andium?
I was literally about to bring that up next.
Okay, got it. Here I'm interrupting.
When you watch a movie with a lady, especially my lady, and Freckles, you've been around my house. My wife is a little bit like Mike Knox, okay? And we're literally in the movie theater. First of all, she clapped for a trailer, which blew my mind. That no one for the if you was in your theater, if you saw the trailer for The Amateur, she goes, "Oh yeah."
I love the name of that movie. I just love the name of it. That is fantastic.
She clapped for that, and then
it was like a proper.
She said the largest vibranium, and she goes, "Vibranium, babe, that's Wolverine." I'm like, "Yeah, baby, calm down. We know." She said, "No, that's Wolverine." I'm like, "Baby, we know." She's like,
I love that. I love that for her. She was so excited.
Our whole entire theater did that. We was like, once he said adamantium, was like, "Oh shit, here we go."
Yeah, I knew that from the trailer. Like outside of like Phoenix, my wife's favorite character is Wolverine. So we know the X-Men are coming. They mentioned that celestial that took place. Yeah. But I was confused, and I've always thought, and maybe you two can correct me here, that what's the stuff the shield's made of? I'm sorry if I'm forgetting the name right now.
Vibranium?
No, Cap shield. Oh, Vibranium.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Vibranium.
I thought that was stronger than Antimanium. So clearly I'm wrong.
Well, I heard the Vibranium is the strongest, but I
It's
guess
the
for the
strongest.
comics, I mean, in the comics it is, but in the movie they switched it up because
They
I
switched it
just
up,
learned
okay.
that. I just learned that myself too.
Okay, because that definitely threw me
Yeah,
off. I
because
said,
I was
huh?
saying
I
Vibranium
thought,
used to be always the strongest.
I thought
but-
Vibranium was the
always,
strongest
yeah,
in the okay. And it's weird that the Antimanium is, I know I'm saying the name wrong, so please correct me.
I mispronounced it too.
Adamantium.
I didn't know that it
Thank you.
came from a celestial event. Wasn't that new in itself too?
I think
Because
that was new.
I think
Because-
I think they're taking liberties here.
they just wrote that in there to
Yeah.
to connect the dots in the stories. And again, you look at this movie, look at the leader. You go back to the very first Incredible Hulk movie, not the one from 2008.
Right.
Right,
Talking about 2003. Okay.
the one in 2003. That's why if you look, they touched on both. Right, for the one from 2003, that's where it shows you the leader in that movie. Right, him becoming at the end, he got the gamma, is on top of him, is in his head. You still see his head bubble up and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
God.
that to me, that gives you that. So that's who the true villain in this movie is he's the one pushing all the buttons, is Dr. Samuel Stern. He's the buyer that Sidewinder's taking the note from and getting the hostage and trying to get the Antimanium over and things like that. And the way they set the story up for Isaiah, the way they set it up for that, this whole thing was about Thaddeus Ross left the leader behind. And the leader got mad and said, hey, I'm going to make you pay. I'm at the world see just how bad of a human you are. And I like what you pointed out, Jack, about how the things they pointed out about his temper and how he gets upset. And they show him several times he's sweating. And he gets mad. And like they're inside Air Force One or on short, wherever they were. I think there was, and that wasn't Air Force One at that point there. I'm assuming the
Echo.
aircraft carrier. And he smashes the desk. And
Oh,
says,
yeah.
no! You could see slowly but surely. And then again, we look at actors to me that we say they meld in movie roles. Harrison Ford to me played a very good. Again, when you hear that, you say, "God damn it!" in that way. Okay, it just shows, right? It gave me, that was the best role I've seen him play in quite some time, because in The Force Awakens, to me, he did kind of own those roles, and that was not the Han Solo that I knew, and those kind of things like that. So to me, he redeems himself in this. Juan Carlos Esposito, the Sidewinder. I think we need to see him more in this movie. But I love.
I would, yeah.
I would
when Sam goes to visit him in prison, and he says, "Well, I see when he said, well, I'm going to escape, and I'm going to come kill you."
Right.
You know what I mean? That sets up more. Or if he does get another, if Sam does get another movie, or you know how MCU does it, he can put him in anything, right? They may put him in the Avengers for all we know to do that. I thought a lot of people questioned the special effects and the CGI. To me, other than the last scene, I mean, like literally the last scene of the fight scene, I thought the special effects was okay.
Yeah, I had no problem with the special effects.
Yeah, I have no issues.
It looked very detailed. It looked very and even with Red Hulk CGI, then it looked bad. It didn't look,
that scene when he hits the vibranium spike on him,
yeah,
and the scene turns to red in the background. To me, that was so much green screen, you could clearly see it. It was like I was watching Smallville all over again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it gave me. That's when I think when people say, but the way that people spoke about it, and again, shout out to the YouTube channel, Just My Opinion. Somebody that I follow, my man E-Man reviews and things like that that I follow. Who it's definitely a big world between brown and black folks speaking about this movie and the other side, and I want to just understand why and where was the disconnect in this movie. It followed MCU lore. It followed the storyline of MCU.
It even cleaned up plot holes.
It even cleaned up. Speak about that, Freckles, please.
So I know a lot of people was complaining about whatever happened after Hulk. Everything when it comes to the leader, everything when it comes to what happened to Ross, all these type of things, they cleaned that up. On top of that, everybody was wondering, well, when are we gonna get Eternals? Well, boom, there's a whole goddamn celestial in the middle of the earth that they did the same thing that they always do. That the great colonizers did to Wakanda, that the great colonizers did to nameless people, they do it again and starts digging and digging and digging. Drill, baby, drill. God damn it. Fuck whatever her name was who used to say that dumbass shit. Sarah Palin. Fuck her. But anyway,
What did Alaska ever do to you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, this sounded personal.
They made her relevant. They made her relevant. But anyway,
I'm gonna leave that alone.
but anyway, it cleaned up so many things that people was complaining about. That it's like, how can you be mad about this? It cleaned up. Okay, why is that Celestial just hanging in there? Is it dead? Is it alive? Like, what's going on with that? Well, guess what? Now we about to have the Eternals coming at us because we're freaked. We messing with a doggone Celestial trying to harvest all this material.
So answer that for me, because that part I guess I missed. I didn't see any other than that being a celestial event. They didn't focus on that at all to me, and I thought the Eternals are gone. I think that movie, they're never going to bring them back.
I hope
they'll
not.
well.
They're never.
So my thing is, they'll bring them back, but they're not going to make a movie out of it.
I hope not.
Or they might be in that.
When people started saying that this
was
was as bad as the Eternals, is when I started to have a problem. Again,
Yeah.
I hadn't even saw the movie yet, and I was like, "No,
No,
you're
the
wrong.
Eternals was boring.
You're lying."
The
Right? And
Eternals
again,
were awful. That
trailers
was
can and trailers can be misleading too, right? There's been plenty of times I saw a great trailer and the movie was horrible. I saw a horrible trailer and the movie was good.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so I gotta say that again. In all fairness, if you liked it, that's you. I was not. Seems like the three of us were not a fan of that movie.
I was terrible. They almost put me internally to sleep.
It definitely.
I went to
It's one of the movies I tried to watch it several times, like the Emancipation of Harley Quinn. Right. That I tried that Birds of Prey movie. I watched that thing like 7 times, and I still have not finished it because it's that bad. I just go to sleep.
I confess, I was
every
high
time
when I was watching it. So that's but
it's a terrible, terrible movie. But I
love movies.
This was a terrible movie. I thought this movie
it wasn't.
served its purpose. I thought it moved the MCU forward. I liked that Bucky was in it, but not anywhere he had to help him.
He overshadowed. I agree. I agree.
He was not. To me, they let this movie stand alone. And here's my thing about Kevin Feige and the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the most important thing I think I love about Kevin Feige and the MCU, you have those things in wrestling, and as you know, as we know it as the can't miss prospects, right?
Sure.
To me, when it comes to Marvel and what they've done since they've taken over, right? They are so in tuned, okay, with people. When you look at Black Panther, for instance, I use that as an example. All to the production crew was people of color.
Yep.
This movie again was made the same way.
All black.
If you want to make Black Panther, you cannot go out there and get Patty Jenkins to speak on Black Panther. So
no disrespect to Patty Jenkins, by the way.
None at all. And I loved Wonder Woman, the first one anyway. Okay, but she can't.
Oh, that's a real person. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's a real person. She's the person who directed and worked.
I get what you're saying. No,
movies.
carry on. You're making some great points.
So you cannot. So maybe when they say they don't understand the dialogue, maybe because you don't understand the culture, right? When they say they didn't like Black Panther, or I'm sorry, Falcon and Winter Soldier, maybe it's because you don't understand the culture. I don't want to hear about it's such a woke thing. I'm so over woke. Okay, I am from the ilk of I want all people, all God's people, to be elevated. I am about to be 50 years old. I'm sick and tired of Black power, white power. This no, I want us all. What my man Stephen got his ass whooped. Can we all just get along? You should be able to watch this movie and enjoy what you got, because to me, they gave a good movie. I'm going to flat out just tell you right now, I gave this movie an 8 out of 10.
Ooh, that's good.
A solid 8 out of 10. I thought at first I was like, when I walked out, I gave it a 7.5. Right. But what I always tell people is like, I think you have to let things marinate.
Yeah.
Speak on them. You know, go back, run it through your head again of this and that. I can't give it a 10. I don't think it. I had a friend of mine, Ray, who I really love his choices in movies and stuff, said my second favorite Captain America movie. And I said, whoa. And if it messed me up in the head, I'm going to the movie theater with these expectations. Like, what? No, it was not. It was not better than Winter Soldier. It was not better than Civil War.
But it was not better than that.
But it's better than Iron Man 2. It's better than Thor 2. Yeah. It's better than It's better than Thor: Love and Thunder. It's better than The Eternals.
It's better than Thor 1.
It's probably better than Thor 1, right? I didn't say Ragnarok.
Yeah,
I said Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, I'm sorry, I mixed that up.
I didn't say Ragnarok.
Okay,
I can name out of 35 MCU movies, this probably fits somewhere right in the middle, somewhere around 15.
This was
It's
this
better
movie.
than probably. Yeah, it probably is better than out of 35 movies. I give it about 20. It's probably better than like 23, 24 movies.
So I'm in the middle somewhere.
I would have to look at all the movies just to have a clear cut thing. I could just promise you that this was better than Internals. Because I actually stood up for this and I was awake for this movie. This movie was great. I thought this movie was. You gave it. You said how many? You said 8.
I gave it a solid 8 out of 10 for me.
I like that. I'm gonna stick with 7. Because there was some slow spots in the movie, but still I enjoyed it. And obviously they had to slow it down to tell the story. But I think the cast that they have here with Sam, you mentioned Bucky, right?
Mhm.
He's from this. I don't want to say the past, right? But
He's 134 years old, but I can work with that.
yeah, no, 100. He was 110.
110 years old.
And she was
I can
down
work
for
with
it.
that.
But now you have this new cast. We have Sam Wilson. I forgot what the girl's name was, and she played a role in there, and it looked like she's going to be
Which
a part of this.
The black girl?
No,
Or
the very small girl.
Yeah, the other widow.
She was a widow. She was a widow. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It was.
But I can see her playing a part.
She's a very tall little person.
I see you. I see how you. I saw what you try to do there, Mike, and absolutely not. She was a small woman, but she never let her height
she really
stop her. Yeah, she was very small. Like you could tell, she walks with
That was not
stool.
CGI.
No, I mean, I think if I was doing CGI, I'd just make her smaller. I'd be like, what the hell? Let's just make it smaller. But I do like the cast. And it was a good movie. I think it was a great intro to Sam Wilson's Captain America, and I hope that he does get a sequel or follow-up because I think he was really darn good. I thought he was really, really good, and he should. Listen, if we're really bringing back the Avengers,
Yeah.
I want this guy to lead the Avengers. I want my Captain America, brown skin, brown eyes, sitting there saying, yes, we can.
I want my Steve Rogers back. I'm sorry. And I like Sam Wilson. I do. I absolutely love him in his role.
That's fair.
But when I heard Chris Evans was coming back,
Listen, and that's the thing too. Look, it's cool. It's cool that we're having
either him or
he's my favorite MCU character is Captain America. And as a kid,
I'm
I
sorry,
did not like Captain America.
I hear you. I hear you 100%. Civil War has made me despise Steve Jenkins Roberts or Rogers.
You took
whatever.
Iron Man side, I guess.
Oh, absolutely, I did.
Why? Because he killed his mom?
Yeah, how do you get mad at someone who says no? Hold up. How do you get mad at the guy who kills? He said, "Yeah, he killed my mother," and he's mad that this guy killed his mother. Come on. I'm sorry.
That is a fan's perspective. How many times do you watch it? I know you watch it more than 5.
I watched it way more than 5 times.
Exactly.
I watched it enough.
Show me where he got mad at Iron Man.
When he started jumping him. Matter of fact, you know what?
They protected themselves. Iron Man was whooping their ass.
No, he picked a side. He literally picked a side, and that's when he lost it.
No, of course he picked
the side. And now he picked a side. He picked his homeboy. I get that. He goes back with him, but his homeboy was wrong. Sorry, you cannot tell me otherwise. 100%, he is wrong. 100%. If you're with Steve Rogers, fine, cool. You can have that cold oatmeal, but he was wrong.
Cold oatmeal. All right, let's play a little game real fast. We got to here and give y'all 2 scores, or give Freckles first. Let's just name them right here. Movies that are better. I'm going to just name them real fast. She said yes or no. Iron Man is it better than Iron Man? I say no.
Nah. Well, I feel like that's my nostalgia.
The Incredible Hulk. I say no.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Thor.
Yeah.
We're not going to go and touch the Avengers. They don't even come close to that.
They don't count.
Is it better than Iron Man 3? I say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Dark World. I think we all say yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not better than Winter Soldier. No, it's not better than the very first Guardians of the Galaxy. No, it's not better than Age of Ultron. It's better than Ant-Man. I say yes. Okay. Yeah. Gonna leave Civil War alone. Better than Doctor Strange.
I'm gonna say yeah. Which one? Is it the first one?
The first Doctor Strange, yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm gonna say no for that one. I'm going in their order that I'm reading right here. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I say yes, but that's because I'm not a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's my fandom there saying yes.
2 was like the weak one.
Mm-hmm. It was the weaker because three was like no.
Now, whatever reason, they're just counting them here, but they do have the Spider-Man Homecomings. I'm gonna say no. It's not. That's not better than that. I don't think it's better than Thor Ragnarok.
But it may be better than.
I think better than the second one.
Okay,
Yeah,
we get to
Far From
that
Home.
when we get that list. But get that better than Black Panther. I say no. Again, we're not touching the Avengers anymore. Better than Wasp, Ant-Man and Wasp. I say yes.
Yes.
Better than Captain Marvel. I say yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Who says better than Far From Home?
I did.
I did.
Ooh, I'm not gonna say that at all. Better than Black Widow. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My children think that Shang-Tsung next to the Avengers is better. And
Oh,
next to
Shang-Chi?
the Avengers and
Yeah.
Black Panthers that's their top
Oh, no.
5 Marvel
Well,
movies.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi?
yeah, and the
Nah,
Legend of the Rings.
It's not better than Black Panther, but that probably me being biased. But it's
No, I'm talking about better than this movie, sir.
I think if you're talking about Captain America, then Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I'm talking about
I saw it. I saw it
Great
once. It was fine,
Yeah.
but I don't see myself going back watching that. Talking about
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
honestly, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll say
It's
yes
better.
as well. We all say it's better than the Eternals. We know it's better than.
Oh,
Is it
absolutely.
better than No Way Home? I say
No.
absolutely not.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Doctor Strange,
Madness.
Multiverse of Madness.
No.
Madness.
I say no as well. It's not better than that. I love that movie.
You know what it is? It's not even like I hated the Doctor Strange stuff. It just
Mhm.
wasn't my bag, baby.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, I like Sam
That's
Raimi's take on it, trying to be a horror kind of movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
And for me, I thought that was good. The special effects, the storyline. I mean, I thought it was better. Because again, when I say better, I mean you got to look at when we say better. Are we looking at a lyrical masterpiece or
Right.
entertain? You go to a movie to be entertained, whatever that
Right,
means.
yeah,
You
yeah,
want to
yeah.
be scared. You want to be thrilled. You want to be excited or laughed. You know what I mean? There's different times. So entertaining wise, it wasn't more entertaining to me than that. That Love and Thunder, I definitely say absolutely. I hate Love and Thunder. To me, that's one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I haven't
get
seen
that.
it once,
I get
so
both
yeah, I
of
would
those
say
too.
yeah.
I'm gonna leave Black Panther alone. I already know 2 of our answers. I think Black Panther's gonna say, "Well, Wakanda Forever."
Is it better than Wakanda
Wakanda
Forever?
Forever. Jack, you think so?
Nah.
Okay.
Is it better than Wakanda than ever? I don't even have a freaking answer for this one. No, but I saw it once and I was like, yeah, I liked it. But I'm gonna say yeah. I thought it was. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I'm
okay.
gonna say yeah.
What about Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Absolutely yes to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Ant-Man, honestly, the Ant-Man series is probably like one of the weaker of the
Yes.
the stuff. So
It
yeah,
is.
I gotta say
Which
that.
was so funny that Falcon Jesse kept wanting to see. You want to see Ant-Man? You want to take me?
No,
to see
I felt like that was one.
Ant-Man?
I was hilarious.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was the last
No.
one. I'm gonna say no,
No.
it was not better than.
No.
I'm gonna say it was better
That
than that.
movie,
I love Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, was fantastic.
I love that.
It really grabbed the emotion. I
Yeah.
honestly think because if I had to rank them, because I want to say 3, 1, and 2, but yeah, 3.
Oh,
I
I would go 3, 1, and 2 with you. I did not like 2 at all. I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of that at all. But 1 was great for what they gave us, and 3 was just
Well,
so damn entertaining.
It was. I think it was a mix of things, but I think what made Guardians so good. I can only speak for myself here. I didn't know who the hell the Guardians were until 2014, and they
Mhm.
brought them to life. And that's a shout out to James
Yeah.
Gunn, who really made these characters. Because I would have not cared about no damn Star-Lord.
Yeah, I knew some of it
Yeah.
because of Nova,
Mhm.
like the OGs and whatnot, but I didn't really know.
And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I knew who they were as well, but I didn't think they were big enough to make a movie out of.
But you
Right.
know, and that's one of the things I like about Marvel, because I would talk to friends. I don't want to make this so long,
Mhm.
but like
But
when Iron Man came out, and now all of a sudden everyone's saying like Iron Man was always a top A superhero.
Never.
Like that's not true.
Never.
Thank you. Thank you.
Never. Before the MCU, he was on nobody's top 10 list.
No.
Absolutely not. And if
No.
you and listen, there are people
Well,
who
let's not say
read,
nobody.
yeah, there's people who read the comics and they're the diehard, but he wasn't mainstream until Robbie
Yeah.
Downey Jr.
Until
And I
Robert
think
Downey
that's-
Jr. made him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was an afterthought. I mean, he was. I won't say top 10. I'd say in the Marvel comic
Universe.
lore.
Yeah.
right,
Oh,
you're
no,
gonna
he
go, you're
was-
gonna go
he was
Spider-Man
definitely-
1, Cap,
Wolverine,
Wolverine,
Hulk.
Hulk.
Captain America had more fan base.
No,
I
I
would say.
said that. I said that. Well,
America.
Oh, you said
Captain America's the second biggest Marvel character. People think it's Wolverine, but if you look at the list, it's Spider-Man, Cap,
Really?
and Wolverine. Yep.
So that's like your Trinity then.
That's their Trinity, and then
That's
Thor.
right.
That's why I say if you take their lore, their top 4 versus DC's top 4, unfortunately, and this is not me saying who's better, blah blah. They're looking at their powers.
No, DC.
Justice League
yeah.
whoops that ass.
No, they do.
Yeah.
No, well, you're talking about gods. Like even I can
Thank
admit,
you.
I can
Yeah, I'm about to say
admit,
some guys.
I can admit, I can
Yeah.
admittedly say I'm a Marvel guy, but I
Yeah.
still rock with some of the DC stuff. But DC flaws them in a lot of things. I think there's a lot of things where, like, hell, Superman could probably 1v at least a good 5 of them, 6 of them,
Yeah.
or whatever. So yeah,
I'm like I'm in this group I'm in. I'm a DC Marvel mix. I grew up in an era where I loved all the. I don't care for. I have a PlayStation and an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? I got an Android and an Apple. You know what I'm saying? I know they're all good. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna fight over who's better. They're all made for. Why we fight over what superhero? They're not paying us. Let's continue this list. The Marvels is better than the Marvels.
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
You know, I really liked Deadpool and Wolverine. I really did.
That's a tough one.
I really did. I'm gonna say no. It's not.
It's not.
I'm sorry. For me, it's not. No.
I'm gonna say yes for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you go back early in the show, I said I do not like my superheroes cursing.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind Deadpool, but I don't need. Once I saw Deadpool, once you saw Deadpool 1 to me, I didn't need to see no more because all I get is
a lot of swearing.
He's Van Wilder to me, no matter what.
Yeah.
But I loved and I enjoyed Deadman and Wolverine. So let me retell that back. It's not better than Deadman and Wolverine. That movie was really entertaining. And Nova, like I would take her over anybody in the MCU. She could be the all they asked to be. I'm sorry. She was like she's taking skin off of people. Like that chick was bad. Yeah, Professor X's lost sister that they just made her up. That was insane to me. Right? She was badass.
And also too, if we could just say real quick, I didn't like that. What's his name? Chris Evans and playing Johnny Storm again. I thought that was cool.
That was absolutely hilarious.
And I was getting Blade and all those other characters. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, great. We went through that list right there of those movies, and we put it up there pretty high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We put a lot of movies behind it, a lot of mix in there, but for the majority, we got this movie somewhere ranked in 12 and 13.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
And he gave it a solid 7. I gave it a solid 8. Your take on this, Freckles? You're scoring this movie at a 10.
I may have to watch it again. I'm probably sure if I rewatch it, it's going to be an 8. But I gave it a 7.5 coming out.
I like
that. And it was only because of some of the dialogue was dragging. Like you kind of got the point. And also I felt like how y'all said that the ending could have been a little different.
And that's why I don't get a 10 for me. Is the ending? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like for me, it's mostly the ending, and like I said, the dialogue. Some moments was dragging a little bit longer than the others, but outside of that, there was nothing else that you could really find that was a problem. Especially if you follow the MCU. If you follow the MCU heavy, just wasn't that much that you could like really criticize it.
So if people want to say the dialogue dragged, I could hear that more than saying the dialogue wasn't good,
right?
And that it was clunky and it wasn't cohesive. I would disagree with, but to say it dragged, I give that because even the last scene that I personally love from the standpoint, I thought it separated Sam from Steve. Was the conversation with the new Falcon Torres in the bed. And they drug a little bit for what it's worth, but I got it. Right. I understood it, and I thought it was important to understand his perspective of his Captain America being Sam.
And also, too, if I could just say out here, and also to create his own identity as well. I think that was very important.
Willie chimes in, best Captain America since Civil War. Well, this is the only Captain America since Civil War. It's actually better than Civil War. Please. No. I know you personally, so I'm going to say this. Put down the crack. Okay. Put down the crack. He ain't a regular fan. He works around here. And I appreciate you listening. But it is not better than Civil War. I like to say that each stay on, but I'm going to say, what are you on? Okay. Civil War is arguably one of the greatest movies ever made. It's a top. I know what you smoke. Okay. Okay. It might have been laced, brother.
Right. I'm going to say that. Look. You might have got some head or something.
Each day on, and so I apologize to my brother, but man, over Civil War, I think that's a heck of a stretch.
In the words of Stephen A. Smith,
and you know the thing too, and like because I gave it a
off the weed.
I was gonna say too because this movie's so fresh. I like to give it a 7 because like I like what Freckles said about maybe I have to watch it back again. And I feel like when you have a replay value of it, it gives you a better perspective. Because I never like to be that person when you watch a movie and you immediately go like 9.5 and you're like, I like to give it that nice in the middle until I see it again. But I thought this was a great introduction to him and his cast and his not roster, but his group of characters.
Like I said, and at first I gave it a 7.5. But I
Yeah.
did have the luxury of, again, I know where you can watch it. You know what I mean? I've always known, like, if a movie leaks or something like that along, I won't watch it off the leak. I just refuse to do that. I'm a movie goer. I'm an AMC A+ list member. You know what I mean? My only thing I was mad about is that I know better. I wanted the Captain America Shield popcorn bucket, and I know if you want a bucket, you have to go opening. You have to go opening night. I went Saturday, and all they had was the helmets left, and I didn't want a helmet. I wanted the
You should have
shield.
got a helmet. Put it on your head.
Nah, I didn't. No, it wasn't that kind. It wasn't. It was. And I'm a collector of popcorn. Freckles, you've been in my house. I
am too. That's the only thing that I hate.
popcorn
I couldn't go.
And before they became cool to collect, I've been collecting buckets for almost 15 years. They've been making popcorn buckets. All of a sudden, the last 2 years, they're, tell my wife, I say, I'd be damned if I miss Superman's popcorn bucket, girl. Okay.
Because I got the,
I
even got the Guardians one. I got the Guardians one. I got
the
I got
best
the
bucket
Star
I
Wars
have
one.
is Gladiators 2 bucket.
Oh, nice.
It's the whole arena
Nice.
inside
Actually,
of
not
it.
bad.
And the Fast and the Furious bucket I got is pretty cool because it turns like tires. Like it's pretty cool. I actually got that one sitting right here. It's
Yeah,
pretty
right.
cool, but
And behind me, I know it's a green screen, but behind me is the Deadpool's bucket.
okay, which one you got? The one with the coming out the butt or the other one?
No, the other one, the zombie one.
Wolverine?
The zombie one. Okay, because they had several buckets for that one.
Yeah.
And the one bucket that I did want, I thought, well, again, I thought they had the one that had it literally had his butt open up.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Popcorn came out of his ass. I got these nuts buckets. See, I knew he was gonna say something smart, Willie. Happy Valentine's Day to your lady and you, brother. I love your love pictures there. I'm glad I could be a great role model, a perfect role model for Black love. So come on down, be like Mike Knox. But listen, we're gonna get out of here, guys. We do have other shows around here on Unplot Review Entertainment. Make sure you guys come back and check them out this week. We just got finished reviewing. We're doing right now, gearing up as we geared up for Captain America. We ran through all the Captain America movies and the reviews, and we just now we're getting up for Superman coming in July, and we're running back every single Superman movie. So we did Superman 1, the movie aired this past Thursday. This coming Thursday will be Superman 2. Also check that out here on Unpop Review Entertainment. Again, like, follow, subscribe. If you're watching us on Twitter, please follow us on Twitter. Okay, help us get those numbers up. So, any final thoughts on this movie? I'm going to start with you, Freckles.
Basically, I'm excited to see when Sam comes back. I definitely love, because I know we didn't talk about it that much, but definitely love the after credit scenes. I don't get how people.
Yeah, let's talk about that real fast. Go ahead.
I don't get how people did not like it, because it did what I wanted it to do. It still tied into, we got Doomsday coming up and we got Secret Wars coming up, and that was
explain it, because I'm one of those people who fall into that realm, Freckles, where I thought it was it should have been a mid-credit scene, not an end credit scene. I was mad that I waited so long for just that little bit of information that I could have got during the movie. So I'm with the other people saying that it wasn't the greatest end credits scene they could have done.
Yeah.
No, but for me, the biggest thing was that, one, now we got somebody that has access to these worlds, because it had to be a moment where, if we remember, Strange is the only other person that can access the multiverse in a sense,
right?
And he's gone, and in this lore right now, he's gone doing shit with his future wife, which is Clea, and so somebody else had to find a way to know about these different worlds and these different universes and things of that nature. And of course, it will be the leader.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised that it was him, but I was excited because of the fact that he was like, yeah, all these different worlds and things. How is it going to be when you have to compete against them?
Do you think that maybe, just maybe, not calling him the leader, not calling Juan Carlos Esposito's character Sidewinder took away from the film at all?
No, because it felt like you already knew who they were.
See, that's just it. The one thing that I do think, Marvel, and this is why I didn't give it a perfect score, or a 9 or a 10. I believe in dumbing things down for the audience.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at my wife, for instance, who she heard Antimania went crazy in the movie.
Right.
She's like, "Who is he?" And I had to like grab my phone, and I hate doing.
But I knew what she said,
and show her.
She did say, "I am the hero." I mean, instead of saying, "I am the hero."
Yeah.
I wish he did say.
Plus, one of the things that make him funny from the comics and the cartoon is he would say, "I'm the leader." You know, it was that corny thing, got that big ass green head, and you know what I mean, like that. And I always thought that maybe they dropped the ball with that. But your final thoughts on here, the great Grand Slam Captain America Poobah.
Right.
Right.
America's Buddha.
America.
It's America's ass. I've been calling that for like 3 years.
Yeah, he has really. I love the movie. It was a fun movie. I got to see it with some close friends of mine, and I once again I just hope Sam Wilson gets another outing at this, because I thought this was a great outing. So plain and simple, straight to the point, and I liked it. And any other follow-up thoughts? No, that's about it.
So we're gonna get about here. So this man get out of that sweatsuit or that Captain America suit and take a shower. And we're gonna go out here. Listen, guys, comment below. Let us know what you think about this movie. Where do you rank this movie? Were the pundits correct? Right? Because I watch those pundits who I love. Okay, I'm gonna just say the name Jeremy Johns. I've been watching for 10 years. Okay, Collider Movies, been watching you guys the schmoes for 10, 15 years. John Campia, 10, 15 years. And I think y'all all dropped the ball. And what makes me mad about that is that you guys have the power, which I don't understand. I've never understood how a critic could tell someone, and you didn't tell you this, but your opinion of a movie can stop people from going to see it. I believe no matter how many times someone says that they don't like something, I tell my kids the same thing. You need to watch it yourself first. People hate Morbius, the movie. I highly enjoyed Morbius.
I'm
not saying it was a great movie, but I highly enjoyed Morbius. It was entertaining. Now, Madam Web was trash. And it should be trash, and forever will be the one of the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. But again, those are my opinions. You have to see something for yourself to tell you if a movie's good or not. That's just my opinion.
If I could throw out there real quick, I don't think the Marvels was like top 5, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
No, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the Marvels.
I didn't understand the hate, but I was like, yeah, no, this is fine. And I hate when people do this too. When you say that, and they go like, oh, so it's in your top 5. I'm like, no, it don't have to be in my top 5. I just happened to enjoy it. It was okay. I didn't get up and walk out of the movie theaters, or I didn't go to the movie theaters and just stayed in the bathroom for an hour. I enjoyed the movie.
It's the same thing like when you tell somebody, you be like, oh, Jordan's the GOAT. Oh, you don't like LeBron? Never said I didn't like LeBron.
Right.
I just said he ain't the GOAT to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say I didn't like LeBron. Like, I'm not, no one's saying I don't like Batman. I don't like Spider-Man. That just, we all have our orders where we put them at, and that's our reasons for putting them there. Right. Just because you put something above something else doesn't mean that it's not good. And I just think I want the world. This has always been my mission with everything I do when it comes to me having a camera and a microphone in front of me is be who you are. Be a fan and go watch things and make your own decision. If you watch it yourself, and like my bro there said to him, better than Civil War, I had to apologize. That's his opinion. He's entitled to saying that. I think it's a wild-fetched opinion, but hey, that's still his opinion. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here, guys.
When the celestial mass emerged,
that mass came.
we squabbled over it. What was found inside that island is a discovery of the millennium.
Look at that suit Jack got on.
I present to you adamantium.
Clocking in overtime, get to running.
The world is on the brink of war. It's my job to fix that. The world needs a reset.
They can't hold me, I fall for my
favorite scene, because I was wondering how they were going to tear up the White House, and they tore up the White House. Look at that fight. Hulk went crazy.
That leap was crazy, though.
It is not only important in moments.
This scene, yo, at the Shield, he killed it in his role, guys. He played a awesome role.
You're not
go watch this movie. And that part right there, when they went to go find the lab, that was definitely Winter Soldier vibes. When they found the bunker. When they found the bunker.
Come and get me!
Come and get me!
Right here. Hey.
Let's go home.
Like my son said, he can't beat that Hulk, Dad. He just can't. And no, son, he did not beat the Hulk. Listen, guys, we're going to go out of here. Again, I'm Mike Knox. That's the great Grand Slam Captain America Poobah. That is Freckles Sensei. Check us out again next time, y'all. Peace. Good numbers.